All right, good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is Wednesday, February 26, 2014. And this is the Wednesday night Chinese takeout. We're going to focus on China tonight. Technical analysis of the stock market today. And the title of my post is Solar Flares and Alien Fever. How about that? Solar flares and alien fever. You're going to have to read the post to see what that's all about. Anyway, all right. Maybe you've already read the post when you come to this video. So some of you probably already have. All right, we're going to start off and briefly talk about the Sp500 today. It tried to get above 1850. And it was above 1850 just briefly today and then came back down. So you can see as we blow this up a little bit. And I talked about this last night, and you know, here we are going sideways. We're inside bars, so we've got some compression going on, and very narrow. Basically, this is what a doji today. Okay, tighter doji than even this smaller doji in here. So we've got some compression going on. We are going to break one way or the other. All right, let's take a look at the Shanghai Composite. What has the Shanghai Composite done the last week? Basically, it's done nothing but collapse. So here is, let's see, look at this. January 30th, February 7th. This was the Chinese New Year. Okay, they had the holiday off for over a week. They come back and they have a nice little New Year's rally. And then the rally peters out. And I think the manufacturing factors are starting to sink in, and other things related to the yuan and who knows what else. But you know, this is looking a little negative in the fact that it broke this trend line. We got a little bit of what looks like a reversal bar in here, but the way this RSI looks, it looks like we got another down move coming. Don't know much, you know, how big it is. Got DI minus above DI plus, and the demand index has broken through 0, which is indicating selling pressure is coming on board. So we're still in this downtrend, and they're still fighting this. So it's not looking too great on the Chinese stock market right now. Okay, the 4 stocks we're going to look at tonight: Canadian Solar, Jinko Solar, Trina Solar, and JA Solar Holdings. Now, I mentioned in the blog post Canadian Solar because they've got substantial manufacturing facilities in China, so we're going to go ahead and throw them into the mix with this today. And we're focused on, we've looked at solar before, but you know, today First Solar was down over 10-11% at one point. I think it may have closed down 9 something today after a disappointing earnings report. So I thought I'd go ahead and focus on some of these solar stocks. Now let's look at Canadian Solar here. It looks like 5 waves up to me, okay? And up from this all-time low at $1.95 down here in November of 2012. Actually, I want to say last year, but that is not last year anymore. So we had this huge wave 3 up, and then we had this wave 4, slight 23%. This is actually 23% of this entire move, believe it or not. It gets distorted when you're on a semi-log, okay? And it's much clearer if you do an arithmetic and looking at the pullback. But anyway, we've broken this long-term down trend line, pulled back to it in this 5th wave, broke this trend line here in from this point, from August. So the uptrend from August was broken in late January in that sell-off of late January, and we just pulled back to it today. So the fact that we're pulling up here, here's the top, I'm looking for resistance. You would need to get a close above this high to confirm that we've got something else going on and additional buying kicking in on Canadian Solar. So a little bit wary about it. Let me see what else is happening. It's really hard to tell. You got DI plus, but you know, it's really hard to tell because you've got this, it's kind of a sideways move. So no real signal to me, except I'm a little wary of the fact that I think it's had a heck of a move, and I think it needs to correct some of that move. So that's what I would be looking for. Now, again, you don't just dive in here and bet against this. You'd have to see closes below the blue line, below the 10-day exponential, and you'd have to see the 10-day rounding over getting below the 21 day. And actually I have changed my moving averages on these to become more in sync with Fibonacci numbers. So I'm using 21, 55, and 233 rather than 250 and 20. It's, you know, very minor difference, but I really like Fibonacci. I'm sticking with the 10-day exponential because that's the trigger line, and I like to see the market right above it or below it. Okay, Jinko Solar. Now we're moving into this one. Jinko Solar is on long-term. Look at this channel. This is a beautiful channel coming out of here, and it broke through this channel. I think there's 5 waves up on this stock also, and having broken out of this channel is another sign of that. And so then when you look at this, there is a possibility that we've got a head and shoulders going on here, but you wouldn't know that for sure. Now, if it gets back above this point here, this peak, then I'd have to say that that little bet's off, although this shoulder, a lot of times, and I can go into this another time, but a lot of times if you want pure symmetry, you're going to get the right shoulder to be the same height as the left shoulder, and we're not there yet, so that would indicate that there's a possibility you could pull up a little bit higher yet, even more so in here. So again, I think the thing you want to be looking for is closes. You got to close down below the 10 here, but you didn't get any follow through. Okay, so again, you've got to watch for a signal that this is starting to roll over, and then look to try to play it. And especially if it breaks this neckline, then you're going to get a pretty solid move. So that's kind of my take on, not kind of, that is my take on Jinko Solar. Trina Solar. Trina, this one is in what looks like a symmetrical triangle to me. Okay, we're getting some compression in here, and again, this is another one where I think we've got 5 waves up, and this 5th wave is a I keep forgetting the term that we call this 5th wave, but it's kind of a abbreviated wave, and this happens many times in the 5th wave, the LE wave. A lot of times you'll lose the strength and lose the power in here, and the fact that it's broken the trend line from the bottom of wave 2 and bottom of wave 4, and it's broken this trend line, further indicates that the major move's over with. But again, we're getting sideways consolidation in here, so no strong indication. So you're going to need to look to see these bigger lines are the boundary lines of the symmetrical. So I'd like to, you'd have to see this thing break down below this as a true sign that it's breaking down to go further down down below. Okay, and the last one we're going to look at is JA Solar. Wow, this is now if we look at, I don't think, it looks like we're getting some negative divergence in here, or negative bearish divergence, and you'll be clear when you look at the stock. So the stock kind of went to a little bit higher close here. Okay, it closed at 1084 and it closed at 1097. So slightly higher, but the indicators weren't going to new highs, at least not yet. Now this has made a nice move. Now the thing you need to realize is just this move here from like 9.5 up to 11, that's a 15–16% move, and it did it almost in 3 days, and then pulled back and bounced again. So right now, as I look at this, I just don't see, you're potentially running into resistance right up in here. You're starting to get a little bit of bearish, divergence that's showing up on the indicators. So I would be a little bit wary on this one. Don't have any other kind of a read on this stock. And again, this is down in the $10 range. I would not be playing options on this one. It just takes too big of a move to make money, so in my opinion. All right, well that's it on these stocks. So we talked about Canadian Solar and JKS and TSL and JA Solar. So okay, this is we've got Thursday tomorrow. I think Janet Yellen, I'm trying to remember, I don't have my notes in front of me. I think she's talking in the morning. And we've got, of course, the unemployment claims, that type of thing. I don't know that we have anything else big in the morning, but have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Thanks for stopping by.